say press a button or reset BBR. A cascading effect, you might be bree and a SEC in time of your baby baby. I want now. Me starting to see Yesaki Kwesiapia, Niesaki Siki, Niamabesaki Milo, Niamabesaki Chris Hutton. Say some mistakes, no, so some money in a mistake. And who has a mistake? I know if you get a picture I'm trying to yeah, because there are a lot of people. Yeah.
Any pumps are coaches.
Yeah, Nipa be school of thought say Abra Kets mu take you over from normalization. Now Kwesiapia na coach. He had played African Cup of Nations, group stages in qualify, ye top ye group near any Cameroon or joint points. And you call round of 16 and Tunisia ye free mu penalties. You buy a World Cup qualifiers or Baba share and ye sake no. Now if it was a mistake, and you fancy CK Akuno so buy and honestly a mistake or him. And he another mistake with Chris Hutton, a mistake with Milovan Ivat. We don't have to repeat the mistake. So that's the one notion. Nipa be points no. Now the other point is that say Oshe Otuado Jimano Abayana Yamano a long-term contract. The long-term contract and they say Yajitumu say there are going to be times it's going to be difficult. But Mami painty picture be ma. Otuado Babe Fair Jumano. Or Babe Fair at a timer. Or the Echo World Cup, he gave us some good moments. I mean, games or share and played very well. South Korea matches against Portugal, very good results, qualifying us through here. In fact, Obabe Fire Nancy second time, you know, or boy against Mali away, a game nobody thought so. Beshe when you're 9 points when you group or your joint top, it was our group qualification. There have been moments where Otto has given us good signs. Said you want to bet Nyaye. There have also been monumental failures to say young qualifying for African Cup of Nations now. So to make a proper decision and a proper assessment of Otto, any do bet here, say yeah, this is in your compass bibia, not just because yes I can be moved that yes and second yes sir, ye be repeat ade be a mistake and no say mistake and two mistakes do not make two wrongs do not make right. Still yes, I bet myself phobia but with mistake, and then in the next 2 years we'll say any panning yard they were born yes and permanent. They will keep on making mistakes born in Conan. You see, this is my own judgment of the conversation of Otuado. Me, Makane several times. And yen nena mess samano. And means the sun it's not. Says so share your crop of black stars. Anybody that does a good analytical work. Now share your average age of the black stars. Tiasema Sanidara I can. 22 years, 21 years. So you see a Pobi, we need somebody who has expertise in managing young players. And Otuado MIS are checkpoint. So for me, I've always believed say even tactical acumen they create him. I've seen several times that Otto born any one way. Yes, or you stubborn, you lose games. You can look at him. But I think that your problem as a mind any nation in terms of your born baby you do. Otto is just one of the most problems now. A lot of things that we need to look at. One, leadership. Planning. Management of the Black Stars in itself, away from tactics, away from just a coach standing by the touchline, away from calling players this animal. So you see, there is some level of nipe be almost okay, a donor from whether on the player's point of view, this animal. We have to manage it from that angle before it gets to coach. My only problem, and then I'll say it again. And I say, I just wish to say, in some post-match and pre-match press conference, no, Otuado could have kept us calm. Because now, me sorry, no, me babe catch you as he say. The biggest question I have been asking myself, na me be saying nipa bia how ye process Otuado instead no. And I say, how does Otuado summon himself, inspire himself, and then get himself to go and inspire players no? Because the bigger question is that, and so Otuado ko Jordan ho, oko Ishaku, oko Kuduso, oko Thomas Tepatonma, can he get them to believe in him and because or your leader and all followers? So our followers na ye players no. Omujidi, ewo mumu says ye the adwuma ma Otuado to aswa, obetimi inspire man because if Otuado fails to inspire the players, nothing will change. And if we are there, then Otto has to go. So to a Lucy team now, he has to go.
Oh, how Lucy?
You see, baby, I'm too far.
Okay.
And to be very honest with you, me and Mr. Raymond Kasem, I've not spoken to any player. I watch me see a Lucy backroom staff. No. And I said there be minister information. But the analysis of the conversation is that see you do on there, then he has to go. But on the face of what Mime who in the pre-match press conference, the post-match press conference, he looks visibly frustrated and out of confidence.
The psychology man.
See, so sometimes also, yes, sometimes also, or not even as a man. Maybe he has been through tough moments like this, and on the pre-match press conference, so on we been through stuff like this, and he thinks of it may inspire him to come back. See, in the greater good and greater conversation, so we organization beyond rich. Now, on the average of every 6 months to 1 year, Osaka will employer. There are a lot of questions about you. And the multimedia, after Jimmy Agla as a general manager. First 1 year, upon me Jimmy Agla. See Jimmy Agla meet target. Wahokofa Fiifi Okranaba, general manager. 1.5 years, upon me Fiifi Okran meet target. The next 1.5 year, Kofa Besmako si Empire Laba, Yapam Besmako si Empire Laba meet target. 6 times. Na me adwuma ne media ne senki be gu adwuma no. It means that you're disorganized. It means that adwuma no disorganized. So we need to look at it from the organizational bit of adwuma no. And then it makes sure say over running here, because the more you sack people, the more disorganized you look. Osaki Otto when the conversation is so simple. You are disorganized because you've been sacking. Why is it that they be a coach's fault, but any other person outside of the coach? Like which is what in American Asia. And our problem just goes beyond coach. The easiest thing to do today is to sack coach. I said it during Chris Hutton. Chris Hutton in Babe Fair Jumano. Me, I did not. Can you pom Chris bet my Jumano? But when we were going to sack Chris Hutton, just because he had bought some number of games and we didn't give him enough time, I said it's a sacking. And same for Tuado. Okay. The Osaki coach, Saki coach. The bigger job is about restructuring, finding solutions, changing the mindset of the players, letting them understand. Say, even Yayamu as Ghanaians, Ghana, nani 20 years, 30 years ago, everybody can play the game. So we need to manage our expectations. Games, the players will expect to work harder, 100 times harder than even a Niger. Work harder than a Kenya, because Udinu Kwentimi is Niger. Udinu Kwentimi is Comoro Islands. So it goes beyond that. At the end of the day, sack him, not sack him. Decision is not just done by pressing a button. And I think it's a proper retrospective work, introspective work. And so you be arrive at a decision. As it stands now, there. Yeah, my man in Nejumaso. Ni real problems of the Ghana football.
At least all the Ombo World Cup qualifiers now. Na yenhwe. Okay. Ate Govi.
Simply be targets against competence. Then we take a decision into say oba no. Say our contract mu say fire ko AFCON na went me fire nkwa. You leave. Say ke FNA corporate. Nka Ghana ni bi ada na wada. Obano amaya results and you go. That's the football environment. You come in, you give us results or not, or you leave. Look, as some of my cases here, the issue of rebuilding your new squad embemu, because me say, no matter what you want to build, on my Ghana, it is a minimum requirement to qualify for the AFCON. And see, any rebuilding as some. And you're a young team as them. For me, Otto has failed the minimum requirement. And whether in the contract now and in the one, it can be as the targets. That's what failed here. Senka FNO corporate outlook. This wouldn't be a very, very big decision we have to take. But Rich, look, say the expectation of an average Ghanaian of enemy tina escone kwakoye goes beyond just sacking of coach Anase Yamanentina. Me say FNE problem ka chire omo a they need to do a lot of things to gain the confidence of Ghanaians in the Blasters. And Sanyo Mane also omo a decision on Otto is just about 15 to 20% of it. Rich, Makase, the management structure of your national teams are wrong. Sure, na yewo yako World Cup no. Na yewo Addo. Yewo Kwesi Agyeman as the vice. Yewo Sekufo. Yewo Stephen Apia. Yewo Alhaji Gruza. And other people as your Blasters Management Committee. The Sanko Foya and the Sako AFCON in Ivory Coast. From the World Cup now you buy no. People like Alhaji Gruza money or Sako for much more. And you call Ivory Coast buy no. And conform so I imagine say no omunye biem. Then we added Randy Abbey to it. Rich. Everything Minister of FA headquarters order. There is a full secretariat. I am from FA headquarters. I am secretariat workers headed by Ora Prosper Harrison Addo. And to Ora FA, your HR department, your momusha documents, so your momusha way. Their job, and they say, Rich, everything I hear in running football. They provide the administrative support to it. Say, everyone is secretariat. Rich, do we need more than 2 people to run any national team? Oh, my. We don't. We don't need a group of people to manage Blasters, manage Black Meteors, manage Blasters. We don't need them. Sadiano, Ghana for he, every for no almost sa. You don't need group of no.
Alright, yes, you appear free among.
You don't need
this.
You don't need these people.
Obitia na ju boom.
What you say? We don't need them. Because say a booking flight. Yeah, flight arrangement. Yeah, hotel arrangement. These things are done on daily basis by the FA Secretariat. The management committee na nkasa no. What is their work? Me na me kachiro. Addo. Dr. Randy Abbey no one more. Omo ya management committee no. Omo mpokra no. So omo beto kura the Blasters next year. Their hotel arrangements, their flight arrangements are done by the Secretariat. So what do they do? National team, no. You don't need. There are too much hands around it. Are unnecessary. And a second of four. Look, Massima make a thing. Baby, I'm best me call ye. Me best go for. And baby, I'm best me call ye. No my back. And they say, Rich, say Ghana for. I'm a double Blasters na. Blasters in any year. Say Ghana for. Say your mama me do Blasters na. Me and supporting Blasters na in good or bad times. Blasters in any year. And to reach Saudi Arabia, as soon you know is to do what will make the people of Ghana love their Blasters. Number one, and they say over the years they've consistently told you, say their hands around the Blasters, no. Say, and also don't know, and they don't do any particular job. And to me, they say, why do we continue to keep the structure of management of your national teams? You know, the same. It's as if say, Ghana for some American, you're female. But as some American rich, we don't say it out of emotions. So. I don't have any emotional attachment to it. I am saying, say, FNU was secretariat. There are secretariat workers that you come monthly to run the secretariat of the Ghana Football Association. Idea Blasters in here. Say a full timbers. Say your booking hotel. Say your flight arrangement for players. I have from almost Omombra, Omonko, any sound of money. These things are done on daily basis by the Secretariat of the Ghana Football Association. So why do you need 4, 5 member committee to run a national team? Why do you need that? You only need about 2 people. Number 2, the 2 people or even 1 out here. Which why must it come from within the Why? This is national team. Let everyone feel welcome on the team. Don't let it look like football people team. If you do that, Rich, you don't get the love of the people. People see national teams as a yankophobia. And if you quote their love for it doesn't come. Don't we see them, or we just don't respect Obia's opinion? My national team, no, any nation like. Obia's national team be. Take away the football people from the national team. The secretariat is there to work with anybody you appoint. Give it a more corporate outlook. Open up for people to apply as business managers of the various national team. Do these appointments. Be very, very transparent with it. No be a room. And you say, you say you appointed Richardo as the Blasters business manager. You say Richardo submitted his CV, went through a vigorous interview and selection process, and you did team Namano. So Richardo is the CEO of the Blasters. Or no, any the FA secretariat. Then probably a team coordinator who is experienced in football administration, and it doesn't have anything to do with any ESCO member. Say Richardo say now Javier see you reviewing a report, you reviewing a Juma. We know say we are reviewing someone who is outside the room of the ESCO based on his contract and his job. How is this difficult? Rich, how is Asama Miking so difficult to apprehend and implement? How? Blasters, and the other national teams, what is there for these people are here. And confirm also Mudo national team and that any be because of Mamu Tawesha. They say, Mumma Blasters in the moon now, me and Nadia. And you, what's a Debbie?
So how do you hire power? What I walk up, how do I go?
Rich,
you buy issues.
Rich, and then you have some judgment.
I can't say, I ran to the ground to say, Sule issues with the inner, and then your man milk committee. Me say, no problems with the buy.
Me say,
Kevin Prince Bantimuna, the same management committee.
Make one of our shows in Accra. That time near the court tournament to be. And Andrea, you were invited to the presidency. Now you person would discuss bonuses. When they went there, Andrea, yes, it was Andrea, you and Asamoah. They told the then president, I think it was John Mahama. I've said it years ago. It's Mekai.
There's a Brazil.
Probably yes.
Yeah, Brazil 2014.
They told John Mahama in the face. Say, hey, Bona Yakobono. The contingent na your idea a one Blasters now. Too much. Too many. I'm not so do. And you see Siako Kampa. All you see them doing because Siako tournament. Rich, every player is led by the technical team and the medical team. I said, Omoma Kanina, Sebi, almost for so power tournament, Rich, anyhow. So players, they say, they go to their team hotel. So Omo for rooms, they see the management committee at the hotel lobby drinking. So Omo no more safe marco training. They see the management committee members at the lobby drinking. And all that they do is that they bypass them. Drinking. They have complimentary tickets to the stadium. See a robot game, then they come pep talk. It should be done by the coach.
And you
get it. So one person can do that.
Yeah.
If say a management member of the Blasters, just one, can give you a pep talk as a representation of the management of the team. Which number two, it's yes, my expectation is that somebody who say Ampa after any meeting, they are ready to change something about national team Blasters now. Yes, the structure of the management of the Blasters and all the national teams. Number two, here collapse. Rich, me say strategically. Somebody who say our planner. lay the plan formally. Me, say come here, ESCO member today. And I come here, executive council room. I will tell them, say a free necro. See a blasters call up. Say if we call 23 players, we will allocate 5 of them to the local league, 3 of them to the youth teams. And it's a fair 23 players. MO5 should strategically come from the local league. Because the local people who are supposed to love the blasters feels the blasters is too bugger for team dodo. Is this a strategic? And the young local league for now, they can associate with the Nkemamu for now. You have quota in the blasters. You have 3 slots to your junior national teams, you know. So if
from Division 2.
So how can you say you are building rich and there's no representation of your youth teams in your national team? Then what are you building? And if there are 3 slots from the youth team, from under 17 to the blasters, and today we should have 3 slots from the youth teams. Representing that gives you the notion say we are rebuilding Ampa. The rest can go in for the merit players now. They be a fair or coach. Did you say and you fix the structure of the management, then you fix the structure of your call-ups. So where's idea we are? People will then know say no. You are now re-strategizing and you are changing something. Now the last thing on whether Otto and as a man in I have had the 2 school of thought. Football is a performance environment. Say Obano am a performance now you go near the obi all performance naba. I listened to an extended interview of Sani Diarra, who also made the point say, it be an Ghana for do na him. Angola for no top your group no have kept their coach
Gongaves
since 2018.
Osate Aliu Sisi.
And he cited from Gongaves since 2018. We are in 2024 age. It is obeying a coach since 2018. You have only information now. Do you understand why the Angolan team is like that today? It seems that they've gone through a long process and they've picked now. It's only about he cited the Aliu Sisi example. Say, at the beginning it wasn't easy. The whole country said Aliu Sisi on the whole country. The FA president kept faith in him. When at the long term the success came, the whole country jubilated with the leadership. And a performance environment that goes against Otto. And those who are saying, say, hey, be with time. Otto bet my baby. But which say the American can. The decision to get Ghanaians back to love blasters and move with the team now. For me, Otto going or coming is just a 20%, 50% of if we want to get the love. The bigger interest now within the FA now and how they manage the national team. Any collapse and no. Even it includes the appointment of Obisa Minister as the team manager of the Blasters. Look, I have nothing against my brother. And let me see, my first I see here or Pekina with the two loudspeaker. His first words will be me at saying I have a very, very good relationship with him. But Rich, how consistently the main say the FA as a political structure should not invade in the national team. Obian says Addo is a cat boy. In years, Shadow have been making arguments for the cat perspective on national teams. Whether a place or you from they're true punches. Why do you give such a person a sensitive position to say the team manager of the Blasters? When you know, say, he can naturally quote enemies for the national team. But just because of the argument and he can quote enemy for the national team success. Why do we are not careful about these small details and derail the national team of enmity? Now and conform on my phone and love it on the national team. No, we should make the people love their national team. Rich, I have friends in Scotland. But that will be say on Oko school. Oko do first 3 months I mean didn't come. And all catch say Charlie. The way I'm for no pom national team is serious so. And I'm say there or say Scotland in Bobo. Obi any say Scotland in Bobo. But Rich, whether lose, draw or win, the way the people carry their flags with pride to go and support the Scottish national team, whether home or away, national television, they are talking about their national team. They still talk about their national team. Oh, they speak with the national team with the pride and patriotism. We don't have that in Ghana. And until we have that, Rich, we should forget. Nancy, I'm a minimum, Nancy, I'm a Tiwana, made Jenny, and I'm saying, Ghana can be a very, very interesting country, Rich. In the last 2 years, one national team, national team, we important. As a Mojamu. As a Mojamu. Kevin, yes. I'm going to national team, we important. Now, Enra, let me give you an example and end. You have Fiifi from Cake GH. A postie, I think it was 2016. A postie, me post to be on Facebook. As or share, no one posted that and or share. Rich, the original post in 2016 was that Yema akosia pia entina, eme yema ne nko. Chata mna ketimo. 2019, right? Good. 2019. Tabana ketimo say, or they will not continue with the contract of akosia pia. Rich, go and read comments. Fiifi and no Obeka you say, Charlie, when I posted this in 2019, go read comments. Everyone did not time aboa akosia pia where you coach. When coach about ball way in tip. They were insulting him. Rich, yet to go. We've listened to radio. The Blasters led by Samoja Muni SMO because they were not winning trophies. And in their term, any super. But today, that national team, any of the chance our national team will poor. As you say, they were glorified Blasters. That is Ghanaians for you.
Yama Ghana from some brem. Na almost so much on my do. Tuado. Yaman is day. And